You better not send the drops unless that shit for sure. And when they do say yeah, we get to screaming out, let's go. No, I fuck on bitches, he gon' have his hoe. You wasn't in the trap before I got hold to them bros.
All right, so this is Deshaun. I'm in this bitch. And this is part 2, man. This is part 2 on which cartoon characters I feel like would be doing what. Like what type of drugs they'll be doing. Part 1, it was originally only supposed to be one part. You know, Nick, Disney, and Cartoon Network characters all together, but I went so long with the Nick session because a lot of them niggas from Nick is chiefing, bro. A lot of them niggas from Nick is chiefing. So I went so long on the Nick section, like, shit. I ended up going like 42 minutes. It's like, yeah, I ain't gonna include the Cartoon Network one in this. So part 2 is Cartoon Network. Cartoon Network niggas only, pretty much. I might do Disney with this one, but I feel like this one is gonna be long too. Probably not as long as the Nick one, but this one's gonna be pretty long too. So I'm probably just gonna do a short part 3 video on Disney because I honestly don't feel like a lot of niggas from Disney is chiefing, bro. Honestly, like I don't feel like they chiefing like that, you know. Which ain't bad because I don't smoke at all. Like I never smoked a day in my life. Like keep it a stack. I never smoked a day in my life. So I ain't like shitting on them. I just feel like them Disney niggas not chiefing, bro. Them Nick niggas definitely giving off chiefing vibes. I know niggas from Cartoon. I know a lot of niggas from Cartoon Network finna be chiefing. So yeah, Disney probably gonna have to. I'm probably gonna have to do a short separate video on them. So for Cartoon Network, starting with the Space Ghost to Coast, you know, yeah, I feel like Brack and Zorok, they definitely chiefing. In Space Ghost, I can see Space Ghost chiefing too. He probably sniff coke every now and then type shit. So moving on to Dexter. Moving on to Dexter's Laboratory. This is where shit gets interesting. You see how fast I done moved on? Because I didn't watch Space Ghost like that. Let's move on to goddamn Dexter. Goddamn Dexter. Goddamn. I can see Dexter's dad just really smoking cigarettes and cigars and Black and Mild. That's the vibes I'm getting from Dexter's dad. I feel like his mom don't do that shit at all, but his dad just is just chill. Cigars, cigarettes, Black and Mild. In terms of Dexter, I honestly don't know what Dexter... I could kind of see Dexter like sniffing coke. Because I don't really see Dexter like doing no drugs like that. I could really just see him doing coke and that's it. I can see him sniffing coke every now and then type shit. Dee Dee. I can see Dee Dee sniffing coke too. I feel like they just would be sniffing coke. Dee Dee and Dexter. And that would be it. Mandark. I don't see Mandark doing no drugs. I feel like he'll think that shit bad for him. He'll probably try to get Dee Dee off of that shit and Dexter, but it's just not gonna work. But yeah, I feel like they would just be coke heads. In terms of Johnny Bravo, I actually don't feel like Johnny Bravo would smoke because he'd be so focused on being fit. So I don't feel like Johnny Bravo would smoke. Susie, I don't feel like Susie would be into that shit. Carl, goddamn. Johnny's mom, what was her name? Bunny Bravo. Yeah, she don't do that shit. A lot of niggas from Johnny Bravo not doing that shit. The only nigga I can see doing some shit is Carl. Carl's definitely smoking some type of drugs. I don't know if it's... Well, let me see what type of drugs I feel like Carl would be on. I feel like Carl's sniffing coke. Yeah, Carl's sniffing coke. That's the vibes I'm getting from Carl. He's sniffing coke. In terms of cow and chicken, damn, a lot of these Cartoon Network niggas sniffing coke so far. Like on every show I done name, I said a nigga is sniffing coke on that bitch. Cow and Chicken Parents is doing every drug you could think of. Goddamn, Cow and Chicken Parents was... That whole show was just... I feel like everybody, the red guy sniffing coke, smoking weed, cigars, Black and Mild, yeah, the red guy's doing that shit. Crack, yeah, the red guy's doing that shit. Flim and Earl, they sniffing coke, they potheads, they smoking weed. I can see them doing shrooms, I can see them doing ecstasy and pills and popping pills and all that shit. Chicken, I can see Chicken doing that shit too, honestly. I can see Chicken doing that shit. I can see Kyle staying away from it and trying to like talk to Chicken about it, and Chicken just not giving a damn. So yeah, Cal's like the only like sober one on that bitch. In terms of I'm Weasel, all they got is Weasel and IRB. I already named goddamn the red guy. I'm Weasel. Weasel's not doing anything. The red guy's probably on that shit. I'm just say that. Now with the Powerpuff Girls, let's move on. Let's move on to the Powerpuff Girls. Blossom isn't doing nothing. I don't think Bubbles is doing anything either. Buttercup is hitting the fucking blunt, bruh. Let's keep it a stack. She look at her color. Her color green. Like let's keep it a stack, bro. Buttercup hitting that bitch. She hitting that bitch. But that's the only thing she's doing though. Like she don't smoke cigarettes or pop pills. She don't do none of that shit. Buttercup is only weed. The only shit Buttercup do is weed. Facts. Buttercup definitely hitting the blunt. Who else? The professor. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like the professor be like very, very low key with it. I feel like the girl's gonna end up finding out one day. But the professor is he's goddamn doing coke. The professor is sniffing coke. Facts. I feel like the professor is sniffing coke. And he'll probably hit the blunt every now and then too. I can see when like Buttercup finds out this shit, like she'll probably be the one that's not that disappointed, but Bubbles and Bubbles and Blossom would be extremely disappointed. Buttercup wouldn't really give a damn. Buttercup would be trying to hit the blunt with Professor when she finds out. In terms of like everybody else, I feel like Mitch Mitchelson, if you're a real Powerpuff Girl fan, if you remember that nigga, he was in a class of shit. Mitch Mitchelson, he's definitely smoking weed. He's definitely chiefing. I can see him and Buttercup like really smoking weed together and shit. But Buttercup being turned off by him doing other drugs, like he's popping pills, he's popping Xanax, he's probably doing coke, you know, he's doing weed, he smokes cigarettes, he smokes Black and Mild, he's doing all that shit. Mitch Mitchelson. Miss Keene not doing anything, Miss Bellum not doing anything. Believe it or not, I don't think the mayor's doing anything. I just think the mayor just lost a couple of screws. In terms of the villains, the Gangrene Gang is definitely doing weed, okay? Or the Gangrene Gang, them niggas is green, them niggas definitely doing weed. Like they're definitely doing weed. Now, is that all they're doing? I can see them doing coke too. I can see them doing coke. I can see them doing shrooms. I can see them doing like all that hardcore shit. But they definitely chiefing. Him. I don't know about him, bruh. Princess Morbucks, I don't think Princess Morbucks doing that shit. I feel like she thinks she's above that shit. Fuzzy Lumpkins, I don't see Fuzzy doing that shit. Fuzzy would probably hit like a Black and Mild or a cigar. Mojo, I could see Mojo sniffing some coke. He'll sniff a little bit of coke. I can see him sniffing some coke. I can see Mojo hitting a blunt too every now and then. I can see him smoking weed. I can see him smoking like cigars and shit. That's the vibes we're getting from him, cigars. He'll probably smoke weed too. And they call that shit the devil letter. Yeah, he's hitting the blunt. Him is hitting the blunt too. What other villains? They got the Amoeba Boys. They'll probably just do cigarettes and that's it. They lame ass. They're probably just doing cigarettes and think they cool by doing this. Like, no nigga, you're not cool, bro. You don't even smoke weed. You're not cool. Sedusa's not doing nothing. She feel like that will fuck her skin up type shit. I think I done named all the Rowdy Rough Boys. Yeah, them. Yeah, them niggas definitely chiefing. All three of them is chiefing. Hell yeah. Them niggas is chiefing like a motherfucker. Them niggas is always high. Like them gonna be the niggas that's all every time you see them, they smell like a bunch of gas. Like you got them see the Right Around boys, you smelling that gas. Yeah, them niggas definitely chiefing. And I can see them being into some other shit too. Like I can see them popping pills. I can see them popping pills too and doing acid and shit. I can see them doing that shit. So, and that's about everybody from the Powerpuff Girls. So, moving on to Ed, Edd and Eddy. The Eds, all of them is chiefing. Every character on Ed, Edd and Eddy, except for Jimmy pussy ass, is probably chiefing. All of them. Rolf, Johnny, Nas, Kevin, the Kanker sisters, Ed, and Eddie. Goddamn, all them niggas is chiefing. Everybody in that bitch is chiefing, except for Jimmy, because Jimmy pussy. Jimmy ain't doing nothing. Everybody in Ed, and Eddy is chiefing, okay? My idea of making this video, those are the first niggas I thought about. I'm like, yeah, all them niggas is chiefing. All they tons is green and shit. They whole neighborhood is just fucked up. They doing weed. All of them, except for Jimmy, is doing PCP. You know, they all sniffing coke, including Nas. They all sniffing coke. Goddamn. They shrooms. Yeah, they all just going on huge acid high trips. They doing everything. Ed and Eddy, them niggas is doing everything. Courage the Cowardly Dog. I don't feel like none of them. I feel like Eustace would just be smoking Black and Mild and cigarettes and shit. He'll be smoking cigarettes, Black and Mild, and cigars, and that would be it. Cause I don't see Courage doing no drugs. He already too goddamn scared. That nigga ain't doing no drugs. Maybe the villains might, but I don't know. Don't really care. But Eustace is definitely doing like Black and Mild and cigars and cigarettes. Eustace. If you seen Eustace, goddamn gums and shit, his teeth, but that nigga ain't got no teeth. Bro, Eustace definitely hitting cigarettes. He definitely smoking cigarettes like all day. And that's all he's doing is smoking cigarettes. Look like a nigga that smoke cigarettes. The Courtney Kids Next Door niggas. Yeah, they hitting that shit. They hitting the blunt. All them niggas, number one, number two especially. I feel like number two, he hitting the blunt, but he's also doing like coke and shit. I can see him in number four like going on coke. They hitting coke. They snorting coke. They going on acid trips. They do acid. I can see number two and number four doing acid. Going on little acid trips and shit. I feel like number three will only smoke weed. But would number three smoke though? Yeah, I feel like number three would hit the blunt every now and then. Number five definitely hitting the blunt. Would she though? The main two that I know is number two and number four doing that shit, but I could see number five hitting the blunt, but she will hit it. Yeah, number five hitting the blunt. Number five hitting the blunt. Number three. Yeah, number three. I can see number three doing going on. I can see number three going on little acid trips with number two and number four sometimes too. But she wouldn't really do it like that, but she would do it every once in a while. I feel like number one would hit the blunt too. The Delightful Children, nah, they goody goodies though. I don't feel like, but nigga, father was smoking cigars in that bitch. That nigga father stayed with a cigar in the Cold Kids Next Door, bro. Yeah, that nigga was hitting the cigar like a motherfucker. And I feel like father was definitely hitting the blunt, bro. I feel like he definitely was chiefing in that bitch. The boss is another one. He was always smoking cigars. I feel like he was chiefing in that bitch too. He was smoking weed. What's the other villains? Oh yeah, Sticky Beard and all them pirates. They definitely hitting the blunt, bro. They definitely all smoking weed, bro. They always hungry and shit and want sweets and they be fucking that shit up. But them niggas definitely hitting that gas. Nigga, who else? Who else on that bitch? Cree. I feel like Cree, Chad. Yeah, they. I feel like damn near everybody in Cold Kids Next Door is chiefing. Like they keep it a stack. Everybody's doing that shit. Everybody in that bitch is chiefing. Damn, I feel like Lizzie wouldn't though. Lizzie would try to get number one off that shit, but number one I feel like number one would hit cigars mostly. Number one might, yeah. I don't know about number one. I know number one would probably be smoking cigars though. Now I can see number one getting hooked on weed too though. Like he smoke weed, he becomes like a whole day. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, damn near everybody on Cold Next Door is hitting is chiefing, except for Lizzie. Lizzie not doing that shit. The Delightful Children, yeah, the Delightful Children, they hitting the blunt too. Yeah, I feel like damn near everybody on that shit doing it. In terms of Billy and Mandy niggas, Billy's another one. Billy is a goddamn Dill Pickles from Rugrats. He's got them SpongeBob and Patrick. He's got them who else I said was doing everything. The Ed and Eddie niggas. This nigga Billy doing everything. This nigga Billy is doing every drug. He's a Donnie from the Wild Farmers. This nigga is doing every drug. This nigga doing weed. He's sniffing coke, acid, black and mild cigarettes, heroin, whatever, shrooms, PCP. Billy is doing every fucking drug you could think of. Billy is doing that shit. No cap. Billy is doing every single drug, nigga. Billy is on that shit. Grim is definitely hitting the blunt. He's Jamaican. He's hitting the blunt. He loves Bob Marley. That's such a stereotype, but man, Grim hitting the blunt. Mandy, I can see Mandy hitting the blunt every now and then. She wouldn't be hooked like Billy and Grim, but I can see Mandy hitting the blunt every now and then. Not like that. But I can see Mandy thinking that shit's stupid too, though. Yeah, I can see Mandy not smoking. As a matter of fact, scratch that. Mandy not doing nothing. Mandy would think that shit is dumb. Like how she is, yeah, she would be against that shit. Like she would think this shit is stupid. You paying all this money for a little bit of weed and shit. Yeah, I can see Mandy not doing it. Billy Grim chiefing. Irwin is chiefing. He chiefing with Billy. Irwin is damn near doing everything too. But it's some limitations with shit, like certain shit Billy does. He like, yeah, I don't know, Billy. But yeah, Irwin, he's chiefing. Yeah. Billy's dad definitely chiefing. Billy dad was crazy as fuck. That nigga definitely chiefing. He ain't going crazy like Billy, but he definitely hitting the blunt. He's definitely doing coke. I can see Billy's dad doing coke, sniffing coke sometimes. Billy's mom, I can see Billy's mom doing the same shit Billy dad, hitting the blunt and doing coke. Mindy from Billy and Mandy, I don't think she's doing anything. The nigga named Adam probably smoking weed with Billy and Irwin and doing all that hardcore shit with their ass too. Count Dracula, he's hitting the blunt. The Boogeyman, like I feel like all the villains on Billy Mandy's hitting the blunt. That's just me. So moving on to the Teen Titans, nigga. All this to the Teen Titans, Beast Boy definitely hitting the blunt. Okay. Beast Boy definitely chiefing, alright? Beast Boy is the main one chiefing. I feel like he's the only one out of the original members that would chief. I feel like Cyborg would do it too. Cyborg just wouldn't be a pothead like Beast Boy. Beast Boy will be a pothead. I feel like Cyborg will do that shit. He'll do that shit with Cyborg. I mean, Cyborg will do that shit with Beast Boy sometimes. Sometimes they'll hit the blunt together and shit and laugh. But I feel like Robin would damn sure not do that shit. Robin would definitely be against it. Raven would be against it. I feel like Starfire at first doesn't do it. I feel like Starfire at first would think the shit is bad and it's not good for you. It's dangerous. But then one episode, I say one episode. But like, yeah, one episode, she decides to do the shit with Cyborg and Beast Boy, and she falls in love with the shit. She starts becoming hooked. I feel like Starfire do that goddamn one time she do it with Cyborg and Beast Boy, Starfire becomes hooked and starts like getting addicted to that shit. Like she starts becoming a serious pothead to where she can't last without weed. Like she just hitting that bitch because she loved the feeling so much. But then she ends up going to rehab and try to get off of it. She ends up getting off of it and not do it anymore. at first, but then she kind of just hits it every once in a while type shit. So that's how I think Starfire would be. You catch what I'm saying? Y'all can see that shit. I know y'all motherfuckers, y'all real Teen Titans fans can see that shit happening. She's against it at first for the longest. You know, kind of like the Danny and Sam thing if you watch the last video, except for they don't go overboard. She's against it for like a long time, and then she finally decides she's gonna hit that shit with Beast Boy and Cyborg, and then she just become hooked. She becomes so fucking hooked. She like ends up loving the shit, getting addicted to that shit. Kind of like the SpongeBob thing, except for she gets off of it. But eventually she goes to rehab, gets off of it. She stops doing it for a while, and then eventually she just has a thing where she would just do it every once in a while. She'll just hit that shit with Beast Boy and Cyborg every once in a while, and it won't take over. So that's how I feel like Starfire will be. In terms of the villains, goddamn Gizmo and all them niggas. Gizmo, what was his name? The Billy, Gizmo, Mammoth. I feel like all of them hitting that shit. All them niggas is chiefing. Yeah, the High Five, I feel like they chiefing. Yeah, that's all I got for Teen Titans. Moving on to, damn, what's another show? Goddamn Cartoon Network. I'm gonna include the Shaolin Showdown niggas. Why not? Cause Cartoon Network used to play that motherfucker. Goddamn Shaolin Showdown. Raymundo definitely chiefing. Raymundo chiefing. I can see Raymundo definitely chiefing. Umi would definitely be against it. Umi would think it's bad, but I can see Umi kind of similar to Starfire. I can see Umi trying that shit. He denying it for the longest, but he finally tries it with Raymundo, and he becomes hooked and fucked up, and he has to like go to rehab and shit, and he decides to never pick up a blunt again, and he never does it again. But I feel like Raymundo achieving that shit. Omi doesn't do it except for that one moment. Kimiko, I can see Kimiko not really fucking with it either. I can see Kimiko and Omi not fucking with it either. I can see Clay. I can see Clay just smoking cigarettes, and that's it. But Raymundo chiefing. I could definitely see Jack. Jack is definitely chiefing. That nigga, Jack Spicer, but that nigga definitely chiefing. He definitely hitting the blunt. I can see Jack snorting too. He's definitely snorting cocaine and shit. I can see him doing acid and shit. Yeah, I can see Jack doing all that shit. So that's the vibes. I can see Chase Young. I can see him chiefing too. Chase Young, Wuya. Yeah, they chiefing. I can see Wuya snorting too. She got them snorting with Jack and shit. So yeah, that's what I got for Shaolin Showdown. In terms of the Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, niggas, damn, who in that bitch would be? Goddamn, obviously Terrence. Yeah, Terrence, the main one from them. Terrence would be doing everything. Terrence is like Dill. They both voiced by Terrence Strong. Hell yeah. Goddamn, Terrence is like Dill. Goddamn, that nigga doing everything. Not as crazy as Dill, but he's doing everything. He's doing pills, coke. He's snorting coke. He's doing weed, acid, pills. Terrence doing all that shit from Foster's Home. Mac's older brother. I can see Mac not doing that shit. I can see Blue doing weed. I ain't gonna lie. I can see Blue doing weed. Yeah, Blue's definitely chiefing. Blue loves that shit. Yeah, Blue's the main one. Blue will probably be one of the only, like, out of the main characters, he'll probably be like one of the only niggas doing that shit. Him and goddamn Terrence, but Terrence doing all that crazy shit. I can see Blue like end up getting hooked on that other shit too, like shrooms and shit, but eventually he kind of stops doing that shit. But knowing Blue, bro, he'll still be doing that shit. Yeah, I can see Blue going crazy with it. But I can see him mainly just doing weed though, for the most part. He's just kind of sticking to weed and that's it. You know, outside of when he got hooked on that other shit. Cause I don't see Eduardo, Wilt, or Coco doing that shit. I can see him thinking it's bad. Mr. Harriman obviously not gonna be doing that shit. Frankie's obviously not gonna be doing that shit. Frankie would probably try that shit though, but she'd probably be like, yeah, that shit is not for me. She would probably get hooked on that shit and then realize, yeah, that shit is not for me. So Frankie's a no-go. Cheese would be sniffing coke. That nigga would be sniffing coke. So That's everybody I got for Foster's. The Megs XLR niggas, I forgot the niggas' names, but them niggas definitely chiefing. Yeah, them niggas definitely chiefing and drinking, bro. Yeah, Hi Puffy Mayumi. I don't really know about them. I don't know. Juniper Lee, the brother probably would be doing some shit. The brother most likely would be doing some shit. Camp Laszlo. I can see the Camp Laszlo niggas, all them niggas chiefing. And then Scoutmaster Lumpus, he's doing coke. He's sniffing coke. And he's chiefing. Yeah, I can see all them niggas smoking weed. That whole camp smoking weed. Got them Raj and Clam, Laszlo, Edward, all them smoking weed. All the Camp Laszlo niggas smoking weed. My gym partner's a monkey, they on crack. Them animals, all them niggas, Jake especially, all them niggas on crack. Facts. All them niggas doing crack. I can see Adam. I can see Adam getting hooked too. I can see Adam doing all that shit with them. Yeah, all them niggas doing all that, all them hardcore drugs and shit. No cap. In terms of Ben 10, I can see them smoking weed. I can see Ben, Gwen, Kevin 11. I can see them niggas hitting the blunt. I can see them being kind of potheads. I could definitely see Ben being a pothead. Thinking of original Ben 10 though. Yeah, I can see them hitting the blunt. I can see Gwen at first like being against it, but Gwen ended up doing the shit kind of like Sam from goddamn Danny Phantom. Like at first they against it, but then they start doing the shit. What other niggas from Cartoon Network you got? Chowder. I don't really know about Chowder. I don't really watch Chowder like that to really tell you who would be doing what. Chowder would probably be doing, them niggas would probably be doing shrooms though. Flapjack. Captain Canuckles was the alcoholic there. So yeah, he a drinker. That's all that nigga did. In terms of Flapjack, I can see them hitting the blunt too though. I can see Flapjack, Captain Canuckles hitting the blunt. And yeah, I can see them niggas doing acid. Yeah, them niggas would be doing everything. Captain Knuckles and Flapjack, yeah, them niggas would be tripping. Yeah, them niggas would do everything. Acid, weed, all that shit. Yeah, the total drama niggas. Duncan is chiefing. Everybody knows Duncan is definitely smoking weed. Duncan is smoking weed. He probably, Duncan would do acid too every now and then. Yeah, Duncan would probably be doing everything. Weed, acid, shrooms. I can see Duncan doing everything. Owen definitely smoking weed. Owen, Jeff, they definitely chiefing. I can see Jeff would be an alcoholic. Not alcoholic, but he'll definitely be on that liquor. I can see Bridget. Bridget would be she'll be chiefing. I feel like Bridget will only stick to weed though. Whereas Jeff, he's doing Xanax, he's popping pills, he's doing shrooms. Like he's the party animal, so he's doing all that shit. Jeff is doing all that shit. Like he would be like the worst one out of everybody in that bitch. Gwen, I feel like Gwen will only stick to weed. Like she'll only do weed. And I can see Gwen doing like a Black and Mild too, but probably not though. Gwen would probably just be doing weed and that's it. Heather, I don't see Heather smoking. I don't see Lindsay smoking either. I don't see Beth smoking. I don't see Courtney definitely not doing that shit. Lashana will be more of an alcoholic type person. More alcohol person. She wouldn't smoke. Who else was on that goddamn show? DJ's not doing nothing. Chris is definitely sniffing coke. I can see Chris sniffing coke. Goddamn. Chris was crazy. Chef ain't doing shit with Chris sniffing coke. And he's probably hitting the blunt every now and then. He probably do cigars and shit too. Who else, nigga? Who else on that goddamn show? I feel like I named Eva's not doing it. She's a gym freak. Katie and Sadie, I don't see them doing anything. I don't see Harold. Nah, Harold he'll definitely be a pothead. He'll definitely be hitting a blunt. Cody, he wouldn't be doing nothing. Trent, I don't see Trent smoking either. I feel like I done named all the niggas that mattered, man. Ezekiel, that nigga's doing everything. Ezekiel's doing all the hardcore shit. Damn, who else on Total Drama, man? Tyler, I can see Tyler smoking weed. I can see him chiefing. Damn, who? Yeah, Heather's not doing nothing. I think I done named everybody on that bitch. Well, at least all the niggas that mattered. Cause I'm only naming like the original Total Drama niggas. I ain't naming like anybody after Total Drama Action. I mean Total Drama World Tour. So Alejandro, I can see Alejandro smoking weed. Excuse me. And I can see what was the bitch name? Sierra, I don't think she's doing anything. But I think I done named like all the important people on Total Drama. I can't. I think I done named pretty much everybody in that bitch. So I don't want to move on and forget, but I feel like I done named all the important niggas. Let's see, Gwen, Heather, LaShawna, Courtney, Lindsay, Beth. You got Katie and Sadie. You got Eva. Izzy. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Nigga, I done forgot about Izzy, bro. How the fuck I forgot about Izzy? Nigga, I mentioned Izzy when I was talking with my homeboy, man. Izzy's doing everything. What the fuck is... Okay. Duncan, Izzy, Jeff, Ezekiel, them niggas doing everything, bruh. But Izzy's really doing everything. Like she's up there with Jeff. She probably worse than Jeff. Izzy's doing everything. She's sniffing coke. She's smoking weed, cigarettes. She's smoking some shit you never heard of before. She's smoking shit you never thought was possible. She's mixing drugs and shit. She's doing PCP, heroin, acid, shrooms, popping pills, Xanax, Molly. Man, this bitch is doing everything. Izzy is doing everything at once, and she's still living to tell the story. Yeah, Izzy going stupid. I knew I forgot about somebody. Boy, I would have been mad as fucking myself if I got there and looked back in this video. I'm like, man, I didn't mention Izzy, and I'm a fucking dumbass for it. She's the main one that should be on this goddamn... She the main one that should be on this video. Like, Izzy's doing everything. Facts. Goddamn. Izzy's doing everything, bruh. It's facts. She's doing everything, bruh. Yeah, she's the main one. She's doing everything. Yeah, she's crazy as hell, but that bitch is she's doing every drug you can think of. Justin ain't doing nothing. He's too factuated by his body type shit. So now for real this time, I think I done named everybody. I can move on and chill, goddamn. So for Adventure Time, I feel like Finn and Jake is chiefing. But I feel like Jake is doing some more shit, and I can see him like Finn trying to get him like to stop, and he's like, no, nigga, I'm not stopping. Yeah, Jake is doing shrooms, and I can see Finn doing shrooms too. Though. I can see Finn doing shrooms, but yeah, Jake is sniffing on coke and some more shit. I can see Finn doing shrooms and like just smoking weed. I don't really see Finn too much fucking with coke like that. I could be wrong though. In terms of the Ice King, when he was the Ice King, he's sniffing coke. He's definitely sniffing coke and hitting the blunt. Not Princess Bubblegum. What was his name? LSP, Lumpy Space Princess, is doing LSD. She's snorting coke. She's doing. I feel like Lumpy Space Princess. She's doing everything. She's doing everything. Lemon Grab. He's doing everything. He's hitting the blunt. Lemon Grab definitely sniffing coke. You can't tell me that motherfucker ain't sniffing no goddamn coke. He's doing all that shit. BMO ain't doing nothing. He's a video game. Princess Bubblegum ain't doing nothing. Marceline definitely smoking weed and snorting coke and doing crack. I can see Marceline doing shrooms too and shit. She hooked up Finn to shrooms. Jake was trying to hook him up to shrooms, but he didn't do it. But when he found out Marceline did that shit, yeah, he's doing that shit. Flame Princess is smoking weed. Goddamn, she's smoking weed. And that's it, probably. And probably cigarettes. Yeah, Marceline's doing it all. Shit. Princess Bubblegum. I can see Princess Bubblegum sniffing coke, just keeping that shit low key. Like she don't tell nobody, but she be sniffing that coke. Tree Trunks, I can see. I don't know, bro. I can see Tree Trunks smoking weed. Tree Trunks smoking weed. Peppermint Butler, I don't see him doing no drugs. I think that's it for Adventure Time. I think I'm done with Adventure Time. In terms of regular show, Mordecai and Rigby, they definitely. I feel like everybody in that bitch chiefing. I feel like Benson be chiefing, but he just be like low key with it. Mordecai and Rigby is definitely chiefing. They chief. They definitely smoking weed. They high. Them niggas is high all the time. Mordecai and Rigby is high all the time. That's why they can't do their goddamn job. They definitely do acid, shrooms. They definitely pop pills. I feel like Mordecai and Rigby was doing everything. It was doing everything, bruh. You seen the 2 a.m. short, whatever that shit was called? Them niggas, Mordecai and Rigby is doing everything. They're another Dill Pickles. They're another Izzy, Donnie from the Wild Thornberries. Like, them niggas is doing everything. Like, yeah, Mordecai and Rigby's on that shit. I feel like Muscle Man is also doing everything. So he's with Mordecai and Rigby. Muscle Man and High Five Ghost, they doing everything. I feel like Skips will only smoke weed and that's it. Skips will only smoke weed and that's it. I feel like Pops wouldn't smoke at all. I feel like I said, Benson would be probably sniffing coke and smoking weed too. He just would keep it like very, very low key, but eventually everybody finds out and they do it with him Benson would do it with them every now and then, but not like that because he's want to still have that authority figure, like nigga, I'm your boss type shit. But yeah, he'll be low key with it, and yeah, I feel like CJ, she's a cloud, so you know CJ be chiefing. She's literally a cloud, man. You know CJ was chiefing, boy. CJ was probably doing everything. Yeah, I can see CJ doing everything too. So she's doing everything with Mordecai and shit too. Eileen, I don't really see Eileen doing nothing. She'll probably just be a drinker. Margaret, I don't see Margaret doing anything. She'll be a drinker. But I could kind of see Margaret hitting the blunt every now and then. She's not a smoker, but she'll do that shit every now and then type shit. Yeah, that's the vibes I get from her. Death, he's doing everything. Death don't give a fuck. Yeah. I done named everybody from regular show that mattered pretty much. Yeah, them niggas chiefing. And the last one from Cartoon Network I'm probably gonna do is Gumball. So everything else I really wouldn't know. Which I don't went longer than Nick, because with Nick I ended it after Avatar pretty much. Like the only show I did after Avatar was the Ninja Turtles. Like outside of Ninja Turtles, I ain't do no new shit. So I pretty much ended in 2005 and just skipped to the Ninja Turtles with Nick. With Cartoon Network I'm ending like in 2011. So that's way longer than I did with Nick. So with Gumball, obviously I feel like Gumball's doing everything because Gumball was fucking wild, but that nigga's doing everything. I feel like Derwin would just stick to weed because he'll know his limitations. He'll just stick to weed. Anais wouldn't do none of it. Gumball's mom, I feel like she wouldn't do any of it, but she could use some weed type shit. She's so fucking crazy. Gumball's dad, Richard, he's doing everything. Yeah, he's doing everything. Yeah. But I feel like Nicole would sniff some coke every now and then type shit. And she'll start going crazy when she do that shit. But yeah, that's the vibes I get from Gumball. I couldn't really tell you. I mean, the balloon, Alan, wasn't the balloon named Alan? Yeah, he definitely was smoking weed because, yeah, that nigga be high. But he a balloon, but he be floating all the time. Yeah, Alan be high as hell. Um, who else goddamn went to the school? What was that nigga, Tobias? Yeah, Tobias definitely smoking, bro. He definitely chiefing, bro. The colorful nigga, I think his name was Tobias. It's been a long ass time since I seen Gumball. But Tobias, he definitely chiefing. He's definitely popping pills and shrooms. He's doing all that crazy shit with Gumball. Goddamn, who else? Tina the bully. I don't really see her doing nothing. I don't see Tina doing nothing. Everybody else, I just don't really know if they would. So yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it for the Cartoon Network list. I may or may not do a Disney list today, but I done did Nickelodeon. Now I done did Cartoon Network. Oh, I forgot about Johnny Test. Oh yeah, I gotta do Johnny Test. Hold on. I gotta do Johnny Test. Damn, how the fuck I forgot about Johnny Test? Okay, so for Johnny Test, Johnny's definitely chiefing. Johnny's chiefing like a motherfucker. Dookie's chiefing like a motherfucker. Like a motherfucker. Yeah, Johnny and Duke is definitely chiefing. I can see Johnny doing shrooms too and shit. And popping pills. I can see Johnny kind of doing everything. But he mainly smokes weed, but he'll do that other shit too on occasion. I can see him definitely sniffing crack too. Johnny's dad, I can see Johnny's dad doing like snorting coke too, but just being very, very, very low key about it. But eventually ain't gonna be able to hide that shit no more from like the kids and shit. Like the wife knows, but the kids wouldn't for a while. In terms of like Susan and Mary, I could see them snorting crack too. I can see them sniffing coke too. I can see Susan and Mary sniffing coke. Mr. Black and White definitely be hitting the blunt, bro. Them niggas be hanging with kids, man. They know Johnny. They all probably be hitting the blunt together. I can see Susan and Mary hitting the blunt too on occasion. Yeah, Mr. Black and White definitely hitting the blunt. Bling Bling Boy, I can see him sniffing coke. And probably hit the blunt with them too sometimes. Whenever he hang with Johnny, he hit the blunt. That's all I got for Johnny Test. That's all I got for Johnny Test. Cause who else was on the bitch? What was the vegan villain? What was his name? Dark Vegan. That nigga was definitely hitting the blunt. The cat nigga with the butler, I forgot the nigga name, but y'all know who I'm talking about if y'all watch Johnny Test. The cat with the butler, yeah, he's definitely chiefing, and I feel like the butler is definitely chiefing too. Wacko, yeah, that nigga Wacko, man, he's sniffing that coke, boy. Wacko was crazy as hell, but yeah, Wacko's sniffing that coke. He's smoking weed. He probably in the back doing shrooms. Yeah, Wacko doing it all. And I feel like Sissy, I don't know. Sissy will probably just smoke weed. She'll probably sniff a little bit too, but she'll probably smoke weed and that's it. So that's for real it with Cartoon Network. I done did Nickelodeon. This is part 2. This is Cartoon Network. This shit is 43 minutes long, so it's gonna be a little bit longer than the Nickelodeon one, just slightly. And yeah, this is the Cartoon Network part 2 on which cartoon characters would smoke weed or which cartoon characters would do what drug. And you know, this is Deshaun. I'm out. Peace. See you in part 3.
Kill you crazy.